What if I told you that two ancient cities once became so morally broken that history remembers them not for their power, not for their wealth, but for their destruction? Cities where prosperity was everywhere, but compassion was slowly disappearing. Cities where pleasure was celebrated, but justice was becoming silent. And according to ancient scripture, something terrifying happened inside those walls. Something so serious that it was marked by fire falling from the sky. Not from an army, not from human war, but from judgment. And what truly happened inside those cities is more disturbing than most people have ever been told. This is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. The story is recorded in the book of Genesis. During that time lived a man named Abraham. Abraham was a traveler walking by faith across ancient lands. He lived in tents. He was not a king. He was not an emperor. But he was chosen to become the father of many nations. Traveling with Abraham was his nephew, Lot. Both men became very wealthy. Their livestock increased. Their servants multiplied. Soon, conflict began between their herdsmen because the land could not sustain both families together. Abraham chose peace. He allowed Lot to select any land he desired. Lot lifted his eyes. He saw the plain of the Jordan River Valley. The land was beautiful, fertile, well-watered. It looked like paradise. Near that region stood two powerful cities, Sodom and Gomorrah. Scripture quietly describes the people of Sodom as exceedingly wicked before the Lord. But wickedness does not always look dangerous at first. Lot chose the fertile plain. At first, he lived near Sodom. Later, he moved inside the city. Eventually, he sat at the city gate, which symbolized influence and leadership. Years passed. Then, war came. 4 eastern kings invaded the region and defeated the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah. The cities were plundered. People were captured. Among the captives was Lot. When Abraham heard this, he acted immediately. He gathered 318 trained men born in his household. He pursued the invading kings at night. Abraham divided his forces strategically. He launched a surprise attack. Against greater numbers, Abraham prevailed. He rescued Lot, recovered the goods, and brought back the captives. On returning, Abraham met a mysterious king named Melchizedek. Melchizedek blessed Abraham. The king of Sodom offered Abraham wealth as reward. Abraham refused. He would not allow Sodom to claim credit for his prosperity. Lot returned to Sodom. Even after witnessing danger, even after being rescued, he stayed in the city. Time passed. The corruption of Sodom and Gomorrah became deeper. In chapter 18 of Genesis, the Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre. 3 visitors approached. Abraham showed hospitality. During this encounter, Abraham was promised that Sarah would bear a son. Then, the message changed. The Lord revealed that the cry against Sodom and Gomorrah was very great. Their sin was very grave. Before judgment, there would be investigation. 2 angels were sent toward the city, but Abraham stood before the Lord and interceded. "Will you destroy the righteous with the wicked?" Abraham pleaded. "If 50 righteous people are found, spare the city." Yes. 45? Yes. 40? Yes. 30? Yes. 20? Yes. Finally, 10. If 10 righteous people were found, destruction would be stopped. But 10 could not be found. The angels entered Sodom in the evening. Lot was sitting at the city gate. When he saw them, he invited them into his home. Hospitality was sacred. But before night ended, the city revealed its heart. Men from every part of Sodom surrounded the house, young and old, from every direction. They demanded that the visitors be brought outside. Their intention was violent. Lot stepped outside and pleaded with them not to act wickedly. But the crowd rejected restraint. The angels pulled Lot back inside. They struck the crowd with blindness. Yet even blind, they continued searching for the door. Corruption had become rebellion. Here is a very important moment in the story. The angels told Lot that the city would be destroyed. Lot warned his sons-in-law. They laughed. They thought he was joking. Judgment often sounds impossible before it happens. Morning came. The angels became urgent. Take your family. Escape for your life. Do not look back. Lot hesitated. So the angels took him, his wife, and his daughters by the hand. The Lord was merciful. They were led outside the city. Then judgment fell. The Lord rained burning sulfur upon Sodom and Gomorrah. Fire consumed the cities. Smoke rose like a furnace. The fertile plain became devastation. The destruction is associated with the region near the Dead Sea. Everything was erased. During escape, Lot's wife looked back. She disobeyed the warning. She became a pillar of salt, frozen between deliverance and destruction. Abraham rose early the next morning. He saw smoke rising from the land. The cities were gone, not damaged, gone. Lot later lived in a cave with his daughters in the mountains. Believing humanity had been destroyed, his daughters made a tragic decision. They intoxicated their father on separate nights. They conceived children by him. The firstborn bore a son named Moab. The younger bore Ben-Ami. From them came future nations. The prophet Ezekiel later described Sodom's sin: pride, prosperous ease without compassion, abundance without righteousness, neglect of the poor and needy. They had wealth, but they lost their moral foundation. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah is not only about destruction, it is about warning. Civilizations do not collapse suddenly. They collapse slowly, through compromise, through pride, through comfort replacing conscience. The destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah was not only fire, it was the end of ignored warning. And history still carries that message. What happens when a society becomes comfortable with corruption? The answer was written in smoke, and the warning still speaks. If this story made you think deeply, please like this video and subscribe for more powerful biblical history storytelling. Some ancient warnings were never meant to be forgotten.